He stole just a loaf of bread and was sentenced to 19 years in prison. During this time, he endured endless humiliation until the day of his release finally came. But the warden decided to make things difficult, ordering him to move hundreds of pounds of timber by himself. This was an impossible task, but Jack happened to possess incredible strength. He lifted the timber with all his might and slammed it down in front of the warden. The warden had no choice but to hand over the release papers. When Jack looked at the document, he saw he was labeled an extremely dangerous criminal. He would have to report regularly to a designated police station, and if he missed even once, he'd be arrested and imprisoned again. Jack was furious. He had already paid 19 years of his life for one piece of bread. Wasn't that enough? But in the warden's eyes, he would always be a criminal. With no other choice, Jack could only leave. But escaping prison just meant entering another cage. He wandered everywhere, searching for work, but no one would hire a dangerous criminal. Cold and starving, Jack found himself in a cemetery. He had just found a corner to sleep in when an old man suddenly appeared. This wasn't a cemetery at all. It was a church. The kind priest brought him inside, gave him food and clothing and a warm bed to sleep in. But Jack had suffered too much in this cruel world to believe anyone could be truly kind. Under cover of darkness, he stole all the silverware and hurried away. But he hadn't gotten far when the local police caught him. Jack knew he couldn't escape this disaster. But what he didn't expect was the priest telling the police that he had given Jack all the silver willingly. The priest even turned and fetched a pair of the most expensive candlesticks, saying Jack had left in such a hurry that he'd forgotten these two items. The police had no choice but to let Jack go. After the police left, the priest urged Jack to use these precious silver pieces well and become a kind and upright person. Filled with gratitude and remorse, he tore up the release papers that marked him as a thief. Jack decided to leave the past behind and start a new life. 8 years passed in a flash. Using that silver from years ago, he transformed himself and entered high society. Not only did he open a textile factory, he was even elected mayor of the town. Just then, a scream came from outside. When Jack went down to investigate, he saw a carriage overturned with an old man trapped underneath. Jack used all his strength to lift the cargo-laden carriage straight up. At that moment, the prison warden witnessed everything. He had only seen such strength once before, and suspicion immediately arose. The fugitive from years ago had never been caught, and this mayor could very well be that escapee. The next day, the warden received a reply from the Paris Police Department. The letter informed him that the fugitive from years ago had been captured and would be executed after the court's judgment. The ashamed inspector went to apologize to Jack, feeling he had tarnished the reputation of an honorable gentleman. Jack told him not to worry about it. He was just doing his duty. After the inspector left, Jack faced a dilemma. On one hand, since someone was already taking his place, this was his chance for a new life. On the other hand, that innocent man would suffer torture just because he looked like him. If Jack turned himself in, everything he had would disappear. But if he stayed silent, he would live in self-reproach forever. In his despair, he saw the candlesticks the priest had given him. In his darkest hour, the priest had given him hope. And now, he would pass that hope to the innocent man. Jack rushed to the courthouse and told everyone he was the real fugitive. The vagrant before them was just a scapegoat. In the end, Jack courageously confessed everything for the justice in his heart. This brilliant film is called Les Miserables.